President Biden has a new challenger, not from the Republican Party. Congressman Dean Phillips of Minnesota says he will be running against the president. He tells CBS News he'll launch his campaign today in New Hampshire.
Are you running for president?
I am. I have to. I think President Biden has done a spectacular job for our country, but it's not about the past. This is an election about the future. I will not sit still. I will not be quiet in the face of numbers that are so clearly saying that we're going to be facing an emergency next November.
With us now, CNN political commentator and Spectrum News political anchor Errol Louis, as well as Bloomberg's Washington correspondent Anne-Marie Horndern. It's great to have you guys at the table. Errol, this is not new that Dean Phillips has been saying that. I admire what Biden has done. He's gone as far as saying he saved the country from Trump. But he has consistently said the numbers aren't there in the polling. The age is an issue. So what do you make of him jumping in? What's it going to mean and do?
Well, look, first of all, that comment about the numbers is going to blow up in his face when we start looking at numbers that show overwhelmingly that people don't know who he is, what he stands for, or why they should vote for him. Numbers cut both ways. 50-plus years in politics and in national leadership by Joe Biden counts for a lot. It does mean something, and it will play out in the numbers. The fact that he's polling, the fact that he's got this tough question about his age and whether or not people think that's disqualifying for the president, absolutely valid questions. Is he the right person, the right messenger to bring it forward? It's hard to see how.
You talk to White House folks, the campaign folks on a regular basis. Do they care? Are they concerned?
I mean, they're just shrugging this off as, we don't care, it doesn't really matter. They will say, the other day, Karine Jean-Pierre was asked about this. She said, well, we're glad to see that he supported President Biden almost 100% of the time. And if you look at his voting record, he's always been behind the president and the president's goals. His issue really comes down to the president's age. Bloomberg and Morning Consult just ran a poll on the key swing states. It's really the only states you need to look at and actually care about. And Trump is leading in 5 of those 7 states. And all of this has to do with the deficit on the economy, that there's a trust deficit with Biden. So when he comes out today, he's not just going to hit inflation, the economy, but he almost sounds like a Republican if you look at some of these excerpts. He's going to go hard on the White House when it comes to the southern border, as well as crime. So he's going to make a lot of noise for them, but the majority of the Democratic Party is backing Biden.
What's the strategy here?
I just feel that this is a response to what the American people are saying, right? I mean, there is the Democratic sort of institutional response, which is to come around President Joe Biden. But Americans are saying every single day, we don't want this matchup. And Democrats, younger Democrats in particular, when you think about what's happening right now with Israel and Gaza, Joe Biden is losing younger and younger voters who are not happy with the way he has handled this international crisis. So it's that with what the poll numbers that we've been seeing, I think it's only responsible. Some Democrats see that it is their responsibility to provide an alternative.
You know what I thought was so interesting? He also said in that CBS interview that he hoped him jumping in would encourage other Democrats to do it. So perhaps this isn't about him winning.
That was interesting.
What about others?
My first thought was this seems like a bunch of consultants who want to make money off of Dean Phillips telling him to run.
Have you dismissed that thought?
I've not dismissed that thought, especially some of the characters involved. But I think that is interesting. 73% of Americans think Joe Biden's too old. 6 in 10 don't want to see Trump versus Biden again. But it's too late, I would just simply say. I mean, January is going to be the first caucuses. New Hampshire, if we count that, is coming up. So I don't see how anyone could have a formidable challenge against Biden at this juncture. It would have had to be 6 months ago.
Missed the Nevada filing deadline.
Right.
Already. White Midwestern guy who's very pro-Israel is the alternative that the disaffected
the young
youth
progressives
vote
are
is
dying
definitely
for.
looking for right now. It's an interesting dynamic. We'll definitely have to follow it. Natasha, Alyssa, thanks, guys. We appreciate it.